Uh, Virgo, tonight, not this week, not when things settle or the timing improves, um, or the circumstances align into something more convenient. Uh, Tonight. And something in you, that specific below the surface Virgo, knowing that you've been trained to second guess, has already been registering that something is different about today. Something has a charge to it, an anticipatory quality, like the specific stillness before something breaks open. You've felt it. Stop pretending you haven't. The ellipsis at the end of this title. What you've been thinking about is finally is doing something intentional. It's leaving space for you to fill in. Because what you've been thinking about, the specific thing, the particular thought that keeps returning, regardless of how many times you redirect your attention, is different for every Virgo sitting with this right now. But here's what's universal: the thought that keeps coming back, the one you haven't been able to file away permanently, is not random. Virgo minds are not undisciplined. When a thought survives the Virgo internal filing system, when it keeps surfacing despite your best efforts to analyze it into submission, it's because something real is attached to it, something that hasn't resolved yet, something that requires not more analysis, but an actual event in the external world to give it a place to land. Um, Tonight might be that event. Lip smacking number is greater than the landing, the finally. Let's talk about what Virgo has been carrying, um, because this reading isn't going to skip past it to get to the good news. The carrying is part of the story. Virgo processes differently than most. You know this. While other signs feel first and think later, Virgo thinks simultaneously with the feeling, analyzes the feeling while it's happening, um, runs it through the verification system. Is this real? Is this proportionate? Is there evidence for this? Could I be wrong? Before allowing the feeling to be fully felt. And that system, rigorous, honest, genuinely useful, has been working overtime on whatever this thought is. You've examined it from every angle, questioned it, tried to talk yourself out of the hoping, tried to make yourself comfortable with not knowing, tried to redirect the energy toward something more certain, something with less potential for the specific disappointment that comes from wanting something you can't control the outcome of. And none of it worked, because the thought kept coming back, which for a Virgo is actually the most honest signal available. The thing the system couldn't file away is the thing worth paying attention to. Every time, without exception, this reflection invites you to consider what specifically is the thought, not the category, the actual specific, if I say it out loud, it becomes real thought, um, the one you've been circling, the one that shows up at inconvenient moments, in the middle of other things, in the quiet before sleep, in the specific space between tasks where the mind runs without supervision. Name it. Um, Not to anyone else, um, to yourself, clearly, in one sentence if possible. Because tonight, um, whatever arrives is going to require you to know what you've actually been wanting, rather than discovering it in real time while the moment is already happening. Um, the surprise. Let's talk about what makes something a genuine surprise versus something that was possible and arrived in an unexpected form. Um, because Virgo, who has probably been thinking about this thing for long enough to have imagined most of the ways it could arrive, might not experience the surprise as surprise in the dramatic sense, might not have the jaw drop, couldn't have seen it coming reaction. More likely, the surprise will feel like recognition, like, oh, uh, there it is. The thing I've been thinking about finally showing up in the actual world, um, rather than living exclusively in my head. And that recognition, the moment when the internal and external suddenly align, is its own kind of surprise. Not because you didn't see it coming, but because seeing it coming and having it actually arrive are two profoundly different experiences. Um, one lives in the mind, um, one lands in the body. And the body, even for Virgo, um, who has been living primarily in the mind on this particular topic, has been waiting for the landing. Tonight might be the landing. Now, because Virgo specifically needs this, let's talk about what to do with a surprise when it arrives. What the correct response, um, for someone who has been thinking about something so long that receiving it produces a complicated internal experience, actually looks like. The first thing, and this will require deliberate effort, um, is to stay in the moment, not immediately move to what does this mean for the future? What are the implications? What happens next? What do I need to figure out before I can feel okay about this? Um, that sequence, which is Virgo's default response to significant arrivals, pulls you out of the present moment, uh, before the present moment has had a chance to be experienced. And some of the most significant moments of your life, Virgo, have possibly been slightly missed because you were processing them while they were happening, um, rather than being in them. Uh, Not tonight. Tonight, when it arrives, be in it uh, fully. The implications can be examined tomorrow. Uh, the analysis can happen after. The verification, is this real? Did I read this correctly? Can wait. Uh, be in it first. Actually be in it. As a complete person, um, not just the analytical function, in a moment that is asking for your full presence, not your full processing capacity, your full presence. Those are different things. And tonight requires the second one. The second thing, and this one is specific to Virgo, don't minimize it. Virgo has a very particular response to good things, especially good things that were wanted. Uh, the response is to immediately contextualize them, to find the nuance, to notice what's still incomplete about them, to be the person who receives something wonderful, uh, and within moments is already noting the ways in which it isn't quite perfect. Not from ingratitude, uh, from the Virgo commitment to accuracy, from the genuine belief that seeing something clearly means seeing all of it, including the parts that aren't quite right. But tonight, for just this one evening, let the good thing be good without the immediate audit, without the but what about, without the yes, but it's not quite. Let it be, as the title says, amazing, without qualification, without the asterisk, just amazing for the duration of tonight. And let that be enough. This reflection invites you to consider, what is your default response when something you've wanted finally arrives? Do you receive it openly, or do you almost immediately begin to manage it, to contextualize it, to find the parts that don't quite fit the expectation you'd built and focus on those rather than on what's actually there? Because that response, however understandable, however characteristically Virgo, robs you of something. It robs you of the experience of arrival, of the specific, irreplaceable feeling that only happens once per thing, of the moment when what you wanted finally becomes real. Tonight, don't rob yourself of it. Stay in the arrival long enough to feel it. completely. Before you do anything else with it, here's what the finally means, uh, because finally is carrying a lot in this sentence. Finally means the waiting had a purpose, um, not the comfortable, retrospective, everything happens for a reason kind of purpose. The actual structural kind, the kind where the delay, however frustrating in real time, um, produced something in you that the earlier arrival wouldn't have found. Um, a readiness, not the readiness you would have claimed 6 months ago. Um, I'm ready. Why isn't it happening? Um, but the actual readiness, the kind built from the waiting itself, from having to hold the thought day after day without resolution and not collapse into either giving up or manufactured certainty, from having to develop in the absence of what you wanted, the internal stability that makes receiving it sustainable. Because Virgo, the version of you that exists after this waiting, um, is more equipped to receive tonight's surprise than the version that existed before it started. More grounded, more honest about what you actually want, more able to hold something significant without either clinging to it desperately, um, or keeping it at arm's length protectively. The waiting built the container. Tonight fills it. Um, and here is what I want you to carry into tonight, not as strategy, not as preparation, not as a Virgo checklist of how to handle this correctly, um, but as a simple, clear, grounded truth. Um, you have been thinking about this consistently through the doubt and the analysis and the almost giving up and the returning. um, you have kept the thought alive, kept the door open, kept showing up internally, even when nothing external confirmed that showing up was worth it, for whatever this is. Um, that consistency, quiet, private, invisible to everyone but you, uh, is what tonight is a response to. Um, not luck, um, not timing, not the universe randomly deciding your moment has arrived. Your consistency, your refusal to fully close the door, your stubborn Virgo specific, I haven't stopped believing even when I was trying to commitment to something that mattered. Uh, that's what tonight is arriving for. And that Virgo is something worth receiving without apology. Um, without the immediate audit, uh, without the managed down expectation, without the protective skepticism that has served you well in other contexts. But tonight is not needed. Tonight, just receive it, whatever it is, however it arrives, in whatever form the finally takes. Receive it fully with both hands. Open. The power is yours. It always has been. Go into tonight not braced for it, not analyzing it before it happens, not already constructing the version of yourself that will handle this correctly. Just present. Actually fully, unguardedly present for the thing that's been thinking about you. As much as you've been thinking about it, finally finding its way to where you are. It's coming. Tonight. Be there for it. Completely take what resonates, softly release the rest. Trust yourself. Virgo, tell me in the comments what's the thought you've been unable to file away, the one that keeps coming back. Drop it below just the category is fine. And when something you've been waiting for finally arrives, what does that feel like in your body, not your mind? Your body, tell me. That's everything for today. Go have an amazing night. And for once, let amazing actually be what it is. No asterisk. No audit. Just amazing. Take care.